Hello, noobs. Today on Noobs at the Game Table, I'm going to walk you through a playthrough of DC, let me get the title exactly right, DC Superheroes United Batman Hush. So what this is a DC version of Marvel United, and I played once, got the rules wrong, thought it was way too easy, but still lost. I played twice last night, lost. Came close to winning, but lost. So I thought I'd try again today. I have a history on the channel now of saying how easy it is for me to win these games and then I lose them. So we are playing today with Batman and Catwoman. You also have Robin, and I think you have Huntress as other choices. And we have a couple different villains to choose from. We have Punchline. I don't think we have like a version of the Joker with somebody else. And then I forget who the villain in Hush is. It's this guy with bandaged face. I don't remember who that actually is. I think it's a secret. That's a graphic novel from back in the day that was well regarded. So I've partially set this game up because last night I got so I almost played again at 4 a.m. last night because I came so close to winning. So, as a little bit of history, I played Marvel United, because Marvel United has gotten so much critical acclaim over the years. Sort of two-pronged beast here. There's Marvel United and Marvel Champions, and they both have been sort of hailed as like these great systems. And I tried Marvel United, and I thought it was fine. I thought it was a little too simple, and it's not, even this game is like, I'm still not sure how sold I am on this. However, I heard that DC Superheroes United, Batman Hush, full title, is more complex than Marvel United. In this first starter game that I played, I didn't necessarily feel that, but it was challenging, so I thought I'd go through it again. So how this works is we are fighting against what's called controlled Superman. So this is Superman. I have no idea if this is actually, this is like my version of Rado, basically, and I wish I had a little green screen that I could, like, you know how he goes like this and then you see the card like right there? This is controlled Superman. He's controlled by Poison Ivy. Bad news. So we're actually fighting our good friend because I am, Batman. I'm Bruce Wayne. Sorry, I should shuffle these. A nice little shuffle. And then you've got a card that says starting hand, so that has to go on top. Same, I think the same with Catwoman. Yes, Catwoman also has a starting card. And the way that Marvel United works is, that's our starting card here. First, we've got to set out 6 locations. Now, I've already set out Kane Chemicals because that is required. That's on Superman's setup card. You have to have Kane Chemicals. And you start with the Poison Ivy tag here. And that has to start at Kane Chemicals. And so that's one of the win conditions for the villain. So I'll just randomly pick. I have these other DC United, DC Superheroes United Batman Hush locations. I'll put them randomly out. St. Hadrian's Fishing School, Spiral Headquarters. We'll have 6 total. Put them in a little circle like this. Whoops, light just fell. Okay, so now we've got to populate them. They have little guides on how to populate them. So for example, civilian icon, and then you just flip this over and it's a thug. And so this is the sort of starting setup. I already set up Kane Chemicals. Spiral Headquarters has 1. Civilian, and I think I've got 1 of each up here. Great. I'm two-handing a game with Batman and Catwoman. So technically I'm playing a 2-player game, which means Superman has 7 health. And these are the health tokens going right there. Another thing is that in Superman, somebody must have this Kryptonite ring card. I'll just go like that just to make sure that you see it. Is this helpful? It just means that you can punch Superman. It does, however, grant you an additional punch per turn when you're holding it. And I believe in the requirements it says if you're playing Batman, Batman has to hold the Kryptonite ring, which makes sense. He probably engineered it, right? Okay, so we're playing against Superman. I have a Superman deck as well. This is the evil deck. This is his master plan. And he's also got a starting master plan card, similar to the other two heroes. So let me shuffle these up and put that one on top. Now we've got these threat cards as well. And these were at the bottom of each location. So just randomly, I'll put them here. In the Poison Ivy adventure, they're all exactly the same. They all, when you defeat these threats, you get to go, you get to move the Poison Ivy token counterclockwise. Because one of the win conditions, as I mentioned, is if the Poison Ivy token gets all the way back around to Cane Chemicals, you lose. And that's how I lost last night. So they're all exactly the same. I'm making a little room at the bottom because I'll need room for the storyline, as they say. Okay, so now I've put the threats down. I'll put down these little purple threat tokens as well. So setup is pretty quick. It's a little fiddly with all these little bits. There we go. Also depends on how, like, are you like, I gotta get them right, lined up exactly. Or do you just kind of throw them on there? How am I set up? Superman has to start at the Cane Chemical spot. And then your heroes have to start at the diagonal, exact opposite location, which is Sicily. Oh, we're starting quite far away. And I've got a bunch of other tokens in here to help me out during the game. Just throw another couple of these out here, because I'll need these. And I think we're close to getting ready. So just to explain how this works is, eventually we've got to defeat Superman. We've got to defeat Superman before Poison Ivy token gets all the way back around. We cannot hit Superman to begin with. That was the rules mistake I made the other day. We have to clear some of these objectives first. And there's 3 objectives here. You can clear them in any way. And then once you clear 2 of them, the villain will become vulnerable to damage, which means then we can hit Superman. So the way you clear these are, you can either clear threats, which means you complete these cards at the bottom of the locations. If you do 4 of them, this card is removed. That objective is cleared. You can also defeat 9 thugs, or you can rescue 9 civilians. When you do that, other things will happen, which basically accelerate the game. So I think I'm ready to start. Now the main issue is, do I have enough room here? Okay, so I'm going to lay out this storyline here, I think. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not super clear, like, table-wise how you should do this. But yeah, basically I need to make a little room down here for a bunch of cards. So we're going to start with the villain turn. And because Superman has a starting master plan card, we already know what this card is going to be. It's been the same every single time, which is we flip it over and we put it into the storyline like so. And this card reads, Superman is going to go 3 spaces clockwise. He will... falling under Ivy's control, accelerate the next villain turn by 1. Wait a minute. Does that happen on all these things? Wow, I missed another rule? Oh, wow, I did. Okay, this will make it even harder. All right, so this is the starting card. So Superman has to go 3 spaces clockwise. So let's do that. We'll go 1, 2, 3, which means he's on the space that the superheroes are at. We also, now we resolve this BAM effect. So each villain has a little bit of a BAM designation on their card. In this case, it says deal 2 damage to 1 hero in Superman's location. Move the Poison Ivy token clockwise 1 location. So either Catwoman or Batman has to take 2 damage. Last time I did this, I did it with Catwoman, so maybe I'll try taking it with Batman this time. Also, I'm going to deal myself 3 cards here. That's their starting hand. Starting hand here is another 3 cards. I'm going to try taking the damage with Batman. So Batman's going to take 2 damage. When you take damage in this game, you have to discard cards. And I'm going to discard this Punch. I'll explain what these mean later. And I'll discard this Wild. And that means I put them back at the bottom of my deck. Get my Kryptonite ring ready to go. So now I've only got 1 card, which is not great. I don't have many options. That was my taking my damage. I moved the Poison Ivy token clockwise 1 location, so now she is at St. Hadrian's Finishing School for Girls. What else do we have to resolve from this card? We resolved the BAM. Now we're going to resolve this accelerate the next villain turn by 1. I'll explain that later. And then now at the bottom here, we've got to populate the locations that Superman landed on with civilians. So this middle one is always where he landed on. He landed at Sicily. So we're going to put 2 civilian tokens here. Like so. And then this card says to add 1 each to the adjacent spots. So 1 will go here, and 1 will go here. So this starts our storyline right here. This is Catwoman's hand. And that's Superman's turn done. So now, we'll start with Batman. Start by drawing a card. I'll show you the 2 cards I have now. They're essentially the same, but I'm going to spend this one because you go by the icons at the bottom of this. This one has an additional ability, but I'm going to hold off on that for now. So I'll spend this one, which gives me 1 move and 1 heroic action. Put it in the timeline like that. Storyline, I should say. So now Batman gets to move once and gets to do 1 heroic action. So I think what I'll do is, kind of want to get away from Superman. So I'm going to move to Bristol Township. That's my move. And I'm going to use a heroic action. I can either populate this with a star, which is the same icon that we saw on the card. Oh, maybe I should point this up. Yeah, so I just realized I'm going to be standing for most of this. I don't know why this is a standing game, I guess. I think I'm going to use a heroic action to rescue a civilian. Put the civilian there. There's only 2 left here, and I've got 1 of the 9 that I need now. That's Batman's turn. Great. So now Catwoman has 3 cards. You draw 1 card. She's got a little more flexibility. Let's see what she's got. Punch. Could punch a thug. Let's do a move and a punch. Now, I put her card down in the storyline, but I get to use her card and the last hero card. So I get to use all 4 of these icons right here, which means I have 2 moves, a heroic and a punch. So, 2 moves. Well, okay, one thing is you don't want these to, like, how this is 4, there's only 4 slots and all 4 are filled. You don't want that. So I think I actually should rescue a civilian, punch a thug, and honestly, I'm going to move away from her, from him. I'm going to move here. And I don't think I have to use all my moves. I have 2 moves, but I'm only going to use 1. Now, Batman's taking a turn, Catwoman's taking a turn. Typically, you would get a 3rd turn for Batman. However, remember, Superman's card says accelerate the next villain turn by 1. So normally you go villain, 3 hero turns, villain, 3 hero turns. And that only changes later, right? But now Superman has to happen right now. So let's see what he has. 4 clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoo, nobody's there. He has a BAM effect. He would do 2 damage to a hero, but there's no hero there. Poison Ivy will go clockwise. 1. Heat Vision. Deal 2 damage to 1 hero in a location adjacent to Superman's. Interesting. I think it's my choice, but I basically have to deal 2 damage either to Batman, which would KO him, which is very annoying, or in the location opposite of Superman, which is Catwoman. So I have an option here, I believe. I'm going to take it with Catwoman. So Catwoman's going to discard, how much? 2 damage. Jesus. So I'm sort of just looking at, I'll discard this one and I'll discard this one because this is a wild, so this may be of use. So I'm going to discard these 2 to the bottom of her deck. And she'll just have 1 card as well. Yikes. Now we got to populate. So it's his and the 2 adjacents each get 1 civilian. See? Good thing I sort of, oh, I didn't do that. Well, actually, no. Good thing I sort of helped get rid of some people here because we don't want to overflow, as they say. Okay. Now, here's a question about this game. You end up making a very long storyline of these cards. You only really need the last one, so I am going to do that, make it a little more compact. I don't know if this is a bad thing or not, but I feel like you have to do it. I don't understand how you put cards out forever. It's Batman's turn. He's only got one card. He'll draw another one. Okay, not bad. We've got 2 wilds. Sort of can do whatever we want, but I'm going to hold on to this wild for right now. Let's play Batman's card here. So he's going to have 2 moves, a punch, and a heroic, because we're using, again, Catwoman's last card as well. So we should work on some of these threats, these cards at the bottom of the things. But also not bad to keep the civilians down a little bit. I'm going to move 2 to here. Move. And I'm going to punch a thug. And I'm going to use 1 heroic action to start work on this threat. I got to start taking them down a little bit. The thing I didn't do last time was I didn't sort of regularly keep my eye on the civilians and thugs from not overflowing. Okay, so we get a Catwoman move now. Remember, Catwoman's only got 1 card. She'll draw another one. Let's see what we get. This turn, treat punch on the previous hero card. So I'm not going to use this. Oops. Sorry. This is a sort of bonus. If there's a punch on the previous card, I'll get 2 punches. So I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use this. Yeah, I'm going to play that. Again, just the last 2 cards. I've got 2 moves, a heroic, and a wild. So I'm going to rescue this civilian. I don't want to get here and take off a civilian. Rescue. Yeah, I can get there. Move, or rescue another civilian just to keep so none of these overflow, because overflowing is going to cause, the overflow effect is that Poison Ivy gets to move another space. Okay. Now we get another Batman turn. There's no acceleration. Let's draw a card. Okay, I'm going to put down this punch because I want Catwoman to be able to use that double punch next time. So now we've got 2 moves, a punch, and a wild for Batman. I'm going to put down a heroic on the location that he's at. That uses the wild card. And I've got a punch left. I'm going to go to the amusement mile and punch this guy. So 2 moves and a punch. So I've used 3 hero turns. Now it's Superman's turn again. Again, just to save space, I'm doing that. Superman's move is 4 clockwise. Uh-oh. Oh, we missed. 1, 2, 3. Woohoo! Bam. No hero damage because there's no hero there. Poison Ivy moves clockwise once. Control Minds. Add 1 thug to the poison. Oh, here, I'll show it to you. Add one thug to the Poison Ivy token's location and to both locations adjacent. Okay, good. So here's the Poison Ivy token. 1 thug to the location. And also, by the way, these slots, it doesn't matter which slot you're in. 1 thug to each and 1 thug to each adjacent. Woo, good. That wasn't too bad. Now, Catwoman's turn. Let's draw a card. I'm probably going to use this double punch if I can. Although, can she move? Yeah, I think I can do this. So, we're going to play this. Martial Artist, treat punch on the previous card here as 2 punches. Oh, so I get 2, 3, and a move. Ugh. Actually, that's not that useful because I don't have enough people to punch. If I do this. Yeah, I'm going to play this. Hold on to that. I want to maximize my card powers. So I'm going to have a punch, a move, and a wild. I'm going to use the wild to get rid of, to do a heroic on this threat. I will punch this guy, and I will move here to where Poison Ivy is. Batman gets a turn. Let's do a draw. Now do I use this double wild? No, I want to keep using this punch if I can. Yeah. Because I want her to be able to use that martial artist. So let's punch a guy here. I'm punching a lot of thugs. And then let's put a heroic. Let's put a heroic down. Okay. Catwoman's turn. Draw. Okay. Here's the problem. I'm not able to move is the issue. So yes, I could do this and I have 3 punches available. There's only 1 thug here. So I'll use this. Boy, maybe I should just use that martial artist last time. I'm going to... I'm concerned. I'm definitely going to punch this thug. That's 1. I have a punch I'm not going to be able to use. And then I have a heroic. I'm going to keep working on these threats. 3 hero moves. Superman's move is moving 2. There is a ban. There's no hero evident. So we Poison Ivy moves. Controlling Minds, add 1 thug to, it's the same one as before. 1 thug here, 1 thug here, and 1 thug here. This is why it's good to kind of keep the levels of these thugs and civilians down if you can. It wasn't too bad. It was Catwoman's move last time. Let's draw another card for Batman. I think, because I'm not able to move, I think I need to use these wilds now. Like, I just need to give us some flexibility. So I've got a heroic, a punch, and 2 wilds. Okay, I'm going to... I would probably shortcut this if it was me. I'll show you what I mean in a second, in terms of the tokens. But I'm going to use a heroic on here. Use 1 of the wilds for another heroic. That will clear this threat. So that's cleared. This little purple token goes to the cleared threats middle board. So that was in a wild. And now when you clear the threat, you get these bonuses for this location. If I end my turn here, you may reveal the bottom card of the master plan deck. If the total villain movement is even, delay the next turn by 1. Oh, this is worth a try. So I'm going to stay here to trigger this ability. So I'm going to just use, so I used a punch. I used a heroic and a wild as a heroic. And I have a punch and a wild. I'll use both of these, a punch and a wild, to get rid of these 2 thugs. Almost cleared the defeat thugs objective. And I will end my turn here. So you may reveal the bottom card of the master plan deck. If the total villain movement is even, delay the next turn by 1 unless already delayed. In any case, place that card face down in the storyline. Here we go. Bottom card, if it's even, which it's not, it's fine. Place that card face down in the story. So basically it burns that card for Superman. Okay. We are here. Catwoman's going to draw a card to start the turn. This is the first of the 3. Okay, I'm going to use this wild. During any villain turn, flip this card to ignore damage equal to the number of civilians. Yeah, I'm assuming that's damage on her. Master of Disguise means she hides as like one of the civilians and they get killed instead. So I've got 3 wilds to work with here, which is nice. Oh, sorry. When I resolve that threat, Poison Ivy token moves counterclockwise 1. So here we go. I've got 3 wilds. I'm going to... oh, here's the thing. So when I clear this defeat thugs, from this point on, Superman is going to go after every second hero card. To be honest, I don't want that to happen yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear... Use 2 of these wilds to clear this threat. Let's go back. Poison Ivy goes counterclockwise. And I've got one wild left. I think I'm going to rescue this civilian with that and stay here. Okay, good. Oh, I'm glad I did that. If there are more thugs than civilians in this location, you must discard one action token. But I don't have that. Great. Otherwise, you may draw one card and add one. I may draw one. This is probably worth it because I only have a one card hand right now. I'll draw another card and I will add a thug to here. That's fine. We can live with that. So Batman. We got another Batman turn coming. We'll draw a card here. Do I want a punch or a... Actually, I think I want a punch. No, I'm going to wait. I'm going to do this. During any of your turns, flip this card to look at the top card of the master plan deck. You may put it at the bottom. This will stay and I can trigger it later. So I have a wild card and a heroic. Oh, sorry, this threat goes here. Well, fortunately, I have to use the wild to move. But, yeah, we'll go here just to give us some flexibility. Wild, and we'll use the heroic to clear the civilian. I've had 1, 2, 3 moves. So it's time for Superman to go again with heat vision again. Yikes. Uh-oh. Oh, we might have gotten out of this. Heat vision, Superman's going to move 2 spots. If I'm reading this correctly, Bam is he's going to deal 2 damage to one of us, which unfortunately I think has to be Catwoman because we have to discard 2 cards. Catwoman happens to have 2 cards. Batman only has 1. If I discard from Batman, he gets KO'd, which I don't want. So I would discard 2 cards from Catwoman, so now she will only have 1 card per round to play. The other BAM effect is that the token points on every token moves clockwise. Now, Heat Vision. Deal 2 damage to 1 hero in a location adjacent to Superman's, which is nobody, or in a location opposite Superman's, which is nobody. It says nothing about damage to you in the location, which is great. So actually, this works out great. And we've got civilian, and civilian. Perfect. We've still got 3 turns to go. So unfortunately, now Catwoman just basically has to play whatever she draws, which is, in this case, not bad. It's a heroic and a wild. So I'm just going to stay here for cleanup. I'm going to go heroic and rescue civilian. Oh, maybe do I want to move instead of doing this? Yeah, I'm going to move her away. So we're going to move her here. That'll be the wild. So heroic and the wild to move. Let's go for Batman now. By the way, there is a solo version. This is a good point to do this. We're going to play Formidable Fighter. Defeat all the thugs in your location. Unfortunately, this will trigger, but that's fine. It's a good use of the card. Oops. And then I've got a punch and a wild card. I can't punch Superman yet. I have to defeat 2 of these objectives, which I just did. I did 1. This goes away. And now you slide them over. And now Superman is now under pressure. He now acts after every 2 hero cards, which means he's going to get the next turn. So I still haven't decided what my moves are going to be. I cannot punch Superman yet. I have to clear 1 more objective before I do that. So I think I will... Oh, I can't punch. I won't get to somebody worth punching. So just for diversity's sake, I'm going to move away from him. There's nothing else left to do. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm going to stay here. Yeah, there's nothing to do, but I want this end of turn action more than the other one. Oh, no, 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 no. Actually, this is a good idea. Let me move here and stop here. And let's try this one again. You may reveal the bottom card of the master plan deck. If the total villain movement is even, delay the next villain turn by 1. It is 1. Again, not even. However, the card goes away. So now, normally I'd get another turn, but Superman is now under duress, which means he's going to move every 2 moves, which he is going to move right now. Yikes, 5 clockwise. 1, 2, 3, 4. He's on Catwoman's spot. Catwoman is going to get KO'd because Catwoman has no cards to sustain any damage. Let me just double check what happens when you get KO'd, because it's not good. If a hero discards the last card from her hand. Oh. They should, oh, sorry. Rules fix, Catwoman should have been KO'd last turn if the hero discards the last card from their hand. So it didn't matter who I KO'd. There is no KO effect on Superman's board, which is good. Oh no, there is a KO. If you KO, you get a BAM. So basically, Superman gets an extra BAM. I'm not going to rewind it. Let's assume that I read it wrong, obviously. Should have been KO'd when the last card was discarded from her hand. But let's assume she's KO'd now. You get another BAM effect for Superman. And then another one on this card, basically. I see. So if they were in the same location, Superman would get to deal damage twice. Okay, so let's walk through this again. He walked around 5 steps. He hits her. She is KO'd. This moves 1. He gets a bonus BAM effect. Hits her. Actually, she's out of the game for the moment. She's laid down. So there is no hero here. Poison Ivy moves again. Now, add 1 henchman to Poison Ivy's location and to the adjacent locations. Whoo! See, it's pretty tough because Poison Ivy is about to get the Kane chemicals, and I'm about to lose. So, we're going to get 2 turns here. It's Catwoman's turn now. After you're KO'd, you basically wake up again. The main issue with getting KO'd is that the villain gets an extra whatever their KO effect is. In this case, it's another... The Poison Ivy gets to walk an extra spot. I believe other villains have even worse ones. Of course, this is all DC superheroes. There's nothing else exists yet. Okay, at the start of a KO hero's next turn, which is now, without skipping a turn, the figure is placed back upright, and they draw up to 3 cards from the deck before performing the normal draw a card action. Okay. So, basically, Catwoman's back in the game, and now she's got 3 cards. Yay! And she's going to draw a 4th to start her turn. So, I've got 4 cards to pick from, which is nice, because I need to clear one of these threats to move the Cat Poison Ivy token back. So, can I move? I have a punch here. Damn. I need to be able to move and do heroic, and I don't think I can. But I think for Batman's sake... Oh? Wait a minute. Not a bad option. Let me look up what this does. Stunning Deception, which is attach a stun token to a villain or henchman in your location. I have the villain right here. Maybe I want to stun him, before he gets away. If an effect attaches a stun token, during the next villain, the BAM effect is canceled, the token is discarded. Okay, I like this. Okay, we're definitely going to do that. I don't want to move this token. This is just as good as clearing the other thing. So I will play this Stunning Deception. Attach a stunned... I think the stunned is... I don't see it. it might be in the other bag. Oh, here we go. Okay. Stunning Deception. Attach a stun token to a villain, so we are blocking Superman's BAM for one the next time it's used. Cool. Great. And now we get a punch and a move. I will move and I will punch. It doesn't really help us to, but it keeps the levels down. It doesn't, we can't gain anything else here. Again, we still cannot hit Superman. Again, remember that Superman's going to go every 2 turns now. So here's Batman. Batman's got 2 cards, a wild and a move and a heroic. Ooh, I think we'll have to do this. We're going to move Batman 2, and we're going to use a heroic. I don't need to put the counter out here. We'll clear this threat. That threat goes to here. Poison Ivy goes counterclockwise 1. And we're finishing here. You may gain 1 move token. You must play your next hero card rank. I will do that. I'll take a move token for Batman. Okay, Superman's turn. However, remember the BAM is canceled. Superman's gonna move 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, there is no BAM. Stunned. Remove that. We populate 1 civilian in the center, and this is to the left is 2. Uh-oh, overflow. I'll get to that in a second. Over here. Okay, so there were not enough slots to put 2. I'll show you. According to this card, I had to put 2 in the location that was clockwise from where Superman ended up. There was only 1 slot available, so we had to trigger Superman's overflow effect, which reads, if the Poison Ivy token is in the overflowed location. Oh, it's not in the overflowed location, which was here. Or an adjacent one? Nope. Great. Whoo! So actually no overflow effect. So that was overall pretty good. Catwoman wakes up, or she woke up last time. Got 4 cards here. I need to clear here, so yeah, I'll do this. Catwoman, good job last time, stunning Superman. I will move and do 2 heroics. Just to make sure that this is, I'm sorry, rescue civilians. Oh, sorry, I put those in the wrong place. Those go here. This is cleared. Which means now we can hit Superman. Superman is vulnerable to damage. Now, the only person that can hit Superman is Batman, because Batman has the kryptonite ring. It's required, if you have Batman in the game, that Batman holds the kryptonite ring. There are other issues where you can pass it between players, but right now, that's the only solution. If we don't have to clear this 3rd threat, this 3rd objective, to win the game. But if we do, we each immediately get to pull a card into each hand, which is not bad, because, again, cards are how you handle damage. So Batman's got a turn now. Okay, he's got a move and a punch. Ah! Next villain turn, villains and henchmen in your location can't leave it. However, I don't know that I have the... Shoot, I don't think that I have the cards to handle the damage is the issue. I think I'm going to do something counterintuitive because I'm worried about Poison Ivy. If this location or that location overflows, she gets 2 steps. So... Damn. I can't. Oh, no, I can punch with this. Oh, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this. I'm going to rescue a civilian here. with a heroic. I'm gonna move and I'm gonna punch a thug here. This gives us a little bit of breathing room with these two locations in case some civilians get added. They're all close to topping off, so now it's a Superman turn. He moves one. Uh-oh. Oh, luckily Catwoman has 3 cards, so she can take this damage. So Superman hits her for 2. Oh, you know what? It's funny. This is a reason to keep this storyline out. Is there's like ongoing, specifically like there's an ongoing like flip this card to ignore damage equal to the number of. Oh, I'm gonna do this. So imagine this is in my storyline. I flip this to ignore damage equal to the number of civilians in my location. I'm 100% doing that. So I do that. There's 2 civilians. I use that card, I ignore the damage. Poison Ivy moves 1 clockwise. And then we add some, damn it, I think we just lost. Yep, we lost. So I'll explain how we lost. So, Superman moved 1 clockwise. Then we did the BAM effect, which we ignored with the ability. However, now we have to populate civilians. So we put 1 where Superman landed. We have to put 1 clockwise, which is fine. And then we have to put 1 counterclockwise, where there's only 1 slot. Oh, wait, no, wait, we didn't lose. Whoo, wait a minute. I keep misreading this overflow. Okay, so we overflowed at St. Hadrian's. If the Poison Ivy was a token, oh, yes, we just moved it. So, right? Oh, no. Yes, we did. Whew. Okay, good. Oh, wow. We're really close to losing, but we didn't lose yet. So, if the overflow location, which is St. Hadrian's, is where Poison Ivy is, she gets to move again, or in either adjacent one, but she's not. She's right there. So we do survive to live another day. Okay, we either need to start pruning some of these civilians, or we need to start killing Superman, or we need to start, like, resolving. We have, like, a couple options. Keeping the levels down. However, that sort of just keeps the game going forever, which eventually seems like it turns bad against us. Or finishing some threats so that we can push Poison Ivy back, or hitting Superman directly. Catwoman cannot hit him directly. So let's draw. Also, we're running out of cards. We've only got 4 cards left. I'm going to, for flexibility for the team, I'm going to play this wild, double wild, with a move and a punch. Use the double wild to clear this threat. You know, heroic, clear this threat. This threat goes here. This is cleared. Immediately, both characters pull 1 card. Catwoman can't, but Batman will draw a card because of this. Poison Ivy moves back 1. And I've got a punch and a... I can't punch Superman because I don't have... Yep, I don't have the Kryptonite Ring equipment card. But I can move... which one of these do I want? I don't want this. You may gain... Oh! If there are 2 or more civilians, which there are, you may gain 1 move or 1 heroic. I think I'll gain a heroic. So I'm going to stay here. I can't move or punch, really. I can't punch Superman. I can't move or punch to anyone useful. So I'll stay here. I will gain a heroic token. Oh, remember that Batman has a move token as well. And let's do a Batman turn. This might be a crucial turn for us. I think I just want wilds for flexibility. So I've got 3 wilds here. Also, remember that I have this ongoing card in here that I didn't use, which is, let's use it now. During any of your turns, flip this card to look at the top card of the master plan deck. You may put it, might as well. Flip that to look at the top card of the master plan deck, just to see what Superman's gonna do, and then we can decide whether we want him to do that or not. He's gonna, yeah, we don't want him to do this because he's gonna stay in the location and hit us again. So we put this at the bottom. Okay. Now Batman has 3 moves. Should I just resolve this threat? Yes. 3 heroics. We'll clear this threat. Stay here. You may discard 1 card to either recharge, turn face up one of your equipment cards, or gain 1 wild token. I'm not going to do that. Damn. That wasn't the best option, but it pushed her back a little. Now I can't remember if I did that or not. I don't think it's going to matter. I think we're about to lose. Superman. 3. He's going to hit a BAM, which means I discard my 2 cards, which means Batman is KO'd. As part of the BAM, the token moves. As part of the KO effect, the token moves again. Superman moves the opposite hero from the ring, which is here. I'll show you the card. So, he moved 3 to where Batman was. Then he did the BAM effect, which knocked Batman out. He gets a bonus BAM for that. Basically getting 2 Poison Ivy moves back to King Chemical, knocking Batman out, and also putting 2, filling up the civilians here. And also up and away, he went back to the location. Ooh, this game is tough. This is quite difficult. I can't remember if let's just for a second, because I think I'm still going to lose. Let's assume I didn't push the Poison Ivy. I think I did, but let's say I should have pushed Poison Ivy back 1 more and she moved 2 to here. Batman is knocked out. Poison Ivy is here. She's got no cards left to draw, but she's still going. Superman's only got 1 card left. She can't hit Superman. So wow. So then I would spend that. Take 1 equipment by another. Oh, well, if I was in the same spot as him, that would be great. Nope, there's no thug there either. So I can move here. And I can put 2 heroics on this because I'm using the token that I earned down here. Her turn's done. Batman wakes up, draws 3 cards. That's it. He doesn't get any more. He's only got 2. He's also just in the wrong spot. So she's got to move. Yeah, this is... so even if I play this, let's say, right? And I move. They're both here. And then Superman has his last turn, which is 0. Oh, 0. No damage done, but Poison Ivy moves again. Damn. Okay, that's my 3rd time trying to play this game, and it's pretty hard. So it's crunchier than, I think I could probably be approaching this with a more crunchy mindset instead of just like, oh, whatever, it's superheroes games. Like, how hard can it be? I'll just go through the cards. There must be some ways that I could be more efficiently like managing how to deal. Like, I think this time maybe I spent too much time hitting thugs and civilians. And I need to position myself better so that when I'm actually able to hit Superman, like I didn't get a hit on Superman once because Batman was nowhere near him. So probably when I moved away from him was a bad idea. But anyway, I'm just learning. Tell me what you think. This is DC Superheroes United Batman Hush. There's a bunch of other heroes you can use. There's other villains you can use. There will definitely be expansions. This is to give you a sense of what the game is like. Tell me what you think. Like, is this interesting to you? Does it seem too fiddly? Keep in mind that I'm playing a 2-handed solo version. There's a special commander solo set of rules that I'm not sure how they work yet. I actually started to set that up, but this seemed easier because I sort of knew the basics of how the game works. So keep in mind that this is two characters that were as in sync as they could be because it was me deciding what to do every turn, right? Because I knew what cards the other side wanted to play. If you're playing with 2, 3, or 4 people, it might not be like that. 2, 3, 4 more people, I think you'll have more coverage. You'll be able to go to more locations, especially with 3 and 4. However, Superman gets more health when you have more heroes. Could be possibly more difficult to coordinate, but it's probably less damaging when one of you gets, like, there's probably more ways to, like, okay, I'm going to go over here and address this civilian issue over here. I'll clear this threat. Maybe it's easier? Question mark? Don't know. So I'm enjoying it. I don't know. I don't know about these games. In fact, I will say it's almost more intriguing when I lose these games because I think I've mentioned it a few times, but like in terms of this is not a dungeon crawler, but this is like a boss battler. It's sort of a dungeon crawler. We're sort of crawling around 6 dungeons trying to do stuff. I have felt anticlimactic ends of these games when I will say, and I'll note this, okay? Even on these threats, did you notice that like there's just a thing on the threats sometimes where I have 1 heroic action, I've got 2 to spend, and I just go, I beat it. And I don't even bother putting the tokens on here. I started doing that, I realized. That's sort of how the ends of some of these games feel to me sometimes. Like the end of Slay the Spire to a degree, the end of even like Kinfire Delve a little bit. Like, it's a little bit like, oh yeah, we won. So, in a way, the fact that I've lost this game twice actually makes me want to play it more. That's almost more compelling to me than winning. And I don't know how to solve that problem. It's just something I've noticed about myself. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching this playthrough. This has been DC Superheroes United, Batman Hush. Check it out. Cool artwork. Fun game. And TBA, I guess. This is not an official review because I don't really know what I think of it. Goodbye.